Hello, hello, hello. I am back. Yes, I'm back. I got some new info coming from Midas Touch Network. Be sure to subscribe to their channel, Midas Touch Network. Some new findings on the Epstein file situation. When I got off the live earlier, I happened to be on YouTube and I ran across this. There's more new info about the interview release cover up exposed. And Ben is going to give us more info on that. Yes, I'm back because there's new findings pertaining to the Epstein files cover up that has been exposed. So we're going to take a listen to that. And because I came back, we're going to make it a whole full show. We're going to cover stuff about Trump, with his policies, how it is impacting America that are impeachable. We're going to listen to Senator Warren on some things that got to do with our economy today. The Republicans are our biggest enemy to America. Kilmore, Abrego, Garcia is fully set free, released. When they brought him back from El Salvador, they held him here in America. Now he is free to be with his family, be in his home. So that's good news. Hit that like button. I'm back because I got some new findings on the Epstein situation from Midas Touch Network. But I'm going to just make it a full show tonight, okay? And I know I said I wasn't going to go live this weekend, but I just may change my mind because Ben even stated that they're going to have more new findings and more stuff is going to be released so I can read over some of the files. So I may go live this weekend. I know I said I wouldn't, but I just may do that. More trash to talk about Donald Trump and how he's messed up the economy, even with Walmart and other things, how the inflation is higher than ever because of Donald Trump. We have a broken system because of Donald Trump. And how Trump is using ICE to try to intimidate the American people. And it goes on. We're going to hear from Jasmine Crockett, more of the Epstein situation. Yes, Trump is throwing everything he can at the media to distract from Epstein, but it won't work. Everyone knows he's covering up. He's hiding something. Everyone knows that. So we're going to go ahead, hit that like button as y'all come in. We're going to go ahead and we're going to listen to Midas Touch Network as they talk about the interview release cover-up that is exposed. So give me a moment. I'm going to take a sip of water and we're going to get started. I didn't have this info earlier. That's why I decided to come back and share with you guys. I ended up seeing this when I went off my live. But Ben explains it immaculately. He explains it where it's simple for us to understand. So just give me a moment.
Criminal defense attorney. Avalanche, which took place in Tallahassee, Florida, over the course of 2 days, about 10 hours total in these interviews, about 300 plus pages of the transcript from this interview. I read it all. I'm going to break down for you how this cover-up took shape, and it should be noted that she was interviewed in Tallahassee, Florida, where Ghislaine was serving a 20-year sentence for being convicted of sex trafficking of minors. Shortly after that interview, she was then moved to a minimum security facility in Bryan, Texas, at a facility called Camp Bryan, where she had to receive a waiver because convicted sex traffickers are not allowed to be in minimum security facilities. So what did she have to do to get from the maximum security facility where she was serving a 20-year sentence to the place where all female inmates want to be, Camp Bryan, Texas? The cover-up is spelled out in such obvious ways. I want to go through with you the transcript.
It's a huge cover-up.
And we're going to read the key portions of the transcript transcript together. As I've posted across my social media platforms, could they make the cover-up any more obvious? Here's what Ghislaine Maxwell said to Todd Blanche during that Tallahassee, Florida meeting where she was given immunity. She goes, "So my father liked him, Donald Trump, very much, and he was loved. Really liked his wife as well because we were both Czechoslovakian. And as far as I'm concerned, President Trump was always very cordial and very kind to me. And I just want to say that I admire his extraordinary achievements in becoming the president now, and I like him, and I've always liked him. So that is the sum and substance of my entire relationship with him. You found underage girls at Mar-a-Lago that were then sex trafficked by you and Jeffrey Epstein. Let me play for you the audio right here of Ghislaine Maxwell, where she says there's no list at all. There's no list. Then we're going to go through some of the transcript together. There's
Subscribe
no list.
to
There's
Midas
no
Touch
Black Book of any
Network.
sort. Here, play this clip of Ghislaine.
During the time that you were with Mr. Epstein, and even in the 2000s when you were around less frequently, you never observed or you never saw any sort of list or black book or a list of individuals who linked to certain masseuses or anything like that?
Absolutely no.
You know she lying because she started speaking before he finished the
And then she
sentence.
goes, like, Donald Trump was never inappropriate with anybody. He was always just the perfect gentleman. That's how I would describe him. Here, play this clip of Ghislaine saying this during her interview with Donald Trump's criminal defense attorney, turned number 2 at the Department of Justice, Todd Blanche. Let's play it.
I don't recall ever seeing him in his house, for instance. I actually never
She's
saw
lying.
the president in any type of massage session.
Donald Trump has photos of Epstein have photos of Trump in his home.
The president was never inappropriate with anybody. In the times that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects.
And then Ghislaine says that, no, Jeffrey was never part of any intelligence agencies, even though we've heard prosecutors make that point before. No, never part of the Mossad.
I'm going to pause this a minute.
Not at all. Good guy. Here,
Y'all recall, I showed y'all photos of Donald Trump and Melania Trump, photos out through Epstein's home. So she's saying he's never been at Epstein's home. It's a lie. That's why I had to bring this back to y'all, because it was last week and I showed y'all that. The video, somebody was discussing his townhome condo in New York. She's lying. And the American people know better.
play this clip. I mean, how disgusting is this? Here, play this clip.
Were we ever told, you ever think that Mr. Epstein was getting any money from any intelligence agency, including Mossad?
I don't believe so, but I wouldn't know. I mean, I would be very surprised if he did. I don't think so. No.
What do you make? I'll show you then the coordination with Fox to spew this propaganda, but I want to go through some of the portions of this transcript right now. So the meeting begins with Donald Trump's former criminal defense attorney, Todd Blanche, saying the following to Ghislaine. It's important, he goes, is the fact that with this agreement we're giving to you, what this agreement does for you, Ghislaine, wink, wink, is it gives you protection. So what it means is that the government cannot use what you say today against you, with some exceptions, which we'll talk about in a minute. But whatever you talk about today, you have what's called
I'm back,
immunity.
Queen Victorious
So that
one.
means that the words you say today, we cannot use against you in a case in chief, if we were ever to bring one, okay? Ghislaine Maxwell says.
Hit the like button, please. Thank
you.
you.
Have Trump's DOJ saying that to Ghislaine Maxwell to start. So do you see the implications of what they're saying to her? We're going to give you immunity right here, okay, Ghislaine? I mean, by the way, the statute of limitations for sex trafficking is basically unlimited. So by them giving her immunity, if the Supreme Court ever reverses her criminal prosecution, or if the district court ever does, future charges can't be brought against her. Then Todd Blanche says, all right, there's exceptions to that. The most meaningful one, which is that if you say something that's not true, that's a lie, we can bring a process against you for your false statements. So I'm a federal officer. I have several federal officers here. The FBI is here. And if you lie to someone that's like me or like Special Agent Horn, it's a crime. So you have to be truthful, okay? Then he goes on to say, however, almost as important is the fact that with this agreement, what it does for you is it gives you protection.
Come on, hit the like button, everybody.
Then you go through the deposition transcript. Todd Blanche says, and you mentioned that early in the very beginning of the conversation that you mentioned President Trump in the early 1990s. Ghislaine Maxwell, yes. Todd Blanche, what did you observe as far as President Trump and his relationship with you or Mr. Epstein? Ghislaine, well, I just want to say for my relationship with President Trump, relationship is a big word.
Thank you.
I just want to say that I met him, or I believe I may have, because of my father in the 1990s. Todd Blanche, yep, okay. Ghislaine, so my father liked him very much, and he was loved, really liked his wife as well, because we were both Czechoslovakians. And as far as I'm concerned, President Trump was always very cordial and very kind to me. And I just want to say that I admire his extraordinary achievement in becoming the president now, and I like him, and I've always liked him. So this is the sum and substance of my entire relationship with him. That's not the sum and substance of...
Ghislaine Maxwell has learned, like everybody else, as long as you flatter Trump, you're going to get what you want. So that's what she's doing. She's saying whatever she needs to say to have gotten her transferred to the Texas low security prison, where there are college campus all around and young girls is all around where Ghislaine Maxwell is. Trump showed favor to an ex-trafficker. Trump showed favor to a PDF file. Why? Apparently, in my opinion, he has to be one.
Entire relationship. Y'all were like best friends. You introduced Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein, your boyfriend at the time. That's what happened. You introduced him on the Lady Ghislaine. Then you, Jeffrey Epstein, and Donald Trump were like best friends for more than 2 decades. We have numerous receipts, for example, of your own paper that your daddy owned, the Sunday Mirror, talking about you bringing young women to Donald Trump. I mean, there's an article here. Ghislaine would bring young women to Donald Trump, and he would impress them at Mar-a-Lago when he'd put them up in their penthouse. That's literally, they called you Madame Maxwell, the woman who introduced Donald Trump to these other very young women. That was actually written at the time. And by the way, you found Virginia Giuffre, underage, 17 years old,
at Mar-a-Lago,
and then sex trafficker. That was one of the things you were convicted of. Todd Blanche goes, what about Mr. Epstein's relationship with Trump? Ghislaine, I don't know how they met. I don't know how they became friends. I certainly saw them together, and I remember the few times I observed them together, but they were friendly. I mean, they seemed friendly. You don't know how they met. You were the person who introduced them. That was you. You were the connector there. Todd Blanche. Was that in social settings or was it in private settings? Ghislaine, I believe I only ever saw them in social settings. I don't recall any private settings. You don't recall private settings with you, Donald Trump, and Jeffrey Epstein together? I mean,
even on private jets, photos.
Todd Blanche says, have you ever been to Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach? I have, she says. Todd Blanche. And what time periods are you thinking about, would you say? I don't remember when the president purchased Mar-a-Lago. So from whenever it turned into the club, I went there, and I was loving going there. Todd Blanche. Did you go there alone or with Mr. Epstein? Mostly alone. Todd Blanche. Do you know where? Ghislaine. And the times I went there, it was for an event. Maybe once or twice. Todd Blanche. And do you know whether Mr. Epstein went there? I believe he did, but again, we really were. He didn't take me with him all the time, so he would go, and I never. Well, he did from time to time, but he would go alone. I think he would maybe go himself to the spa. I certainly did. Todd Blanche. Did you ever observe President Trump receive a massage?
This is not good.
Never.
Trump thinks this makes him look good.
You said
no.
That you were, I mean, have you
of course
seen
she's going to say what
photographs?
she needs to say to
Public
get out of prison.
Mr. Epstein and Trump together.
Listen carefully,
yes.
y'all.
Todd Blanche. And there's photographs of, I think you're
Listen
in some
to
of
the
those
audio.
photographs. Ghislaine, yes. Todd Blanche as well. Those all appear to be social
Hit the like
settings.
button,
Ghislaine,
beautiful
yes.
kings and
Todd
queens.
Blanche. Do you, Ghislaine? That's my memory. There were social settings. I don't know Epstein, if he had whatever the nature of the president's friendship, if you will, or however you want to define that with Epstein. I never witnessed. I think they were friendly like people are in social settings. I don't think they were close friends, or I certainly never witnessed the president in any. I don't recall ever seeing him in the house.
We have
for
proof
instance.
of everything
I
that
actually
this
never saw the
woman
president in any type
lied.
of massage setting. I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way. The president was never inappropriate with anybody. In the times that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects. Question: what's the last time you think you saw in person President Trump? Ghislaine, it's been a long time, probably not, sometime in the beginning, mid-2000s maybe, and it would only have been a social setting as far as I recall. Todd Blanche. And have you ever hear Mr. Epstein or anybody say that Trump had done anything inappropriate with masseuses or with anybody in your world? Ghislaine, absolutely never, in any context. Todd Blanche, do you know whether masseuses from Mar-a-Lago Spa ended up giving massages to Mr. Epstein? I'm not asking for what you may have read, but from your personal knowledge, do you know if that's true? I don't recall. Is it possible? Yes, but I don't remember. I don't remember. But I don't want to. I don't recall. It's possible. You sex trafficked Virginia Giuffre from Mar-a-Lago. That's where you found her. That was part of your criminal case. Why is Todd
And Trump
Blanche
said from
doing
his
this
own
interview?
mouth
Oh,
that
right, he's
Epstein
Donald Trump's
stole
criminal
girls
defense attorney.
from
You know who should be
Mar-a-Lago.
giving this interview? The
And he never
prosecutor of
reported
Ghislaine
it.
Maxwell, who knows
He
the
knew
facts.
who
What happened to
Epstein
the
was.
prosecutor? Oh, right. She
Donald
was
Trump and
fired by
Epstein
Donald
are
Trump.
are
So
the same
that's why.
people.
And no one associated with the actual case
MAGA
was
is
in the
Epstein.
room, and they just let Ghislaine Maxwell get away with things like this. Oh, by the way, when you look through the transcript as well, you'll see that there are redactions in certain portions, which they redacted. And as Inner City Press writes, from index to Ghislaine Maxwell's Todd Blanche proffer, what could the DOJ be redacting alphabetically between farmed and fashion? Can you say farmer? 10 references in just this alone. So just to be very clear, Farmer, Marie Farmer, Annie Farmer were women who were sex trafficked by Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Those portions of this deposition or this interview is notably missing and redacted. So I just want to
Redacted to protect who? Donald J. Trump, the monster over America.
Todd Blanche,
the fat man that breaks the toilet.
Recruiting masseuses from Mar-a-Lago Spa to give a private massage to Mr. Epstein? Ghislaine, I never recruited a masseuse from Mar-a-Lago for that.
Donald Trump even said it. Listen to her. Donald Trump said that
Virginia Giuffre.
She's lying, and we have proof. I've shown y'all. I've shown y'all the proof. Yes, I have.
She was charged by the DOJ with perjury, and in their sentencing memorandum, emphasized over and over again, she lies about everything. And it goes on and
Ben
says,
is right. She lies about everything.
So what I think we should do now, it's about 12:15. We'll take a break. We'll come back in a little bit. Okay. Just be well done, Todd Blanche, treating a convicted sex trafficker so nicely. I don't know, maybe if you actually
and Donald Trump hasn't once
you would say,
said anything about speaking with the victims. You know why?
Tell us about that.
Because they're going to tell on him.
Not the purpose of this. The purpose of this for her to
That's
get
in my
transferred to
opinion
Tallahassee
exactly what I think
Camp
it feels.
Ryan in Texas, the minimum security facility, was to follow this script. Then Todd Blanche says, and do you remember, but separate and apart from your discovery, do you remember one way or another if Donald Trump submitted a letter for his 50th birthday for Epstein? Ghislaine, she's the one who put it together.
Yep.
I don't remember, Todd Blanche.
She's lying
and the
again.
That references the letter talks
Hi,
about, like,
DJ David. How you
like
doing,
either
King?
A naked picture or a naked
We're
woman or
listening
something
to
like that. Do you have a recollection of that?
Trump
By the way,
release
you
of
know how
Jesline
the
interview
question
instantly
is asked? Do you have a
backfires. That's what we're
recollection of
listening
that?
to.
So it's easy to
Midas
answer
Touch
no.
Network.
And Ghislaine goes,
Subscribe
I
to their
don't,
channel.
I just don't. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't have a recollection of that. You see how he's leading her to come up with answers like she doesn't know? Then Todd
And the
Blanche
judge
goes,
would not allow you
my
to
colleagues
lead
alerted me to a couple of questions I think I may have
a
forgotten
witness.
to ask you. One is, sorry, I'm going through my notes. Well, we talked a few minutes ago about this birthday book that there's press about. I understand you don't remember anything with President Trump or a lot about the book anyway. Do you remember asking Trump to submit a letter for that? Do you see how the question is being asked? I know that you don't remember anything about it, but do you remember? And then she goes, I do not remember. Then Todd Blanche goes, and do you remember, would you have been
Thank
the one
you,
to do
King
that, or could
DJ
somebody
David.
else? Would
Thank you
somebody
so
else have
much
done that?
for the
I
compliment.
did ask some people. I don't remember Mr. Trump. I don't remember who I did ask, but Epstein also asked people
Yes,
directly.
King
Okay,
Kevin, he
so it
is.
could have happened
King
that
Kevin
way. If it
Jackson is
happened at
right.
all,
He's
maybe it
in
was
those
Epstein, she
files
basically
all
says.
over it.
Then Todd Blanche goes,
Why redact it
did
when we
you-
know
so
it's
did
you,
you,
Donnie, with your
take
nasty
other
self?
trips with some or all of those individuals without Mr. Epstein in later years? Like you said, that was the first time you had kind of been on something like that it was an honor and you were spending time with former President Clinton and others. Were there other over the years?
Hold on, I'm gonna answer somebody's question. Someone asked, this is from Chris Flores. Why didn't the Dems bring it up when Biden was in office? Let me tell you something. I'm gonna put it to you like this, because you don't comprehend very well. There was no reason to. Joe Biden ain't on any other flight logs. President Barack Obama isn't either. President Joe Biden never been to Epstein Island. President Barack Obama never been. But who has been? Donald J. Trump, the nasty man, been to the Epstein Island several times. And if your man, Donald Trump, is so well put together and innocent, why has he been redacted out of the Epstein files? Can you explain that to me, little ding-a-ling? Explain that. You got a mushroom dick like Donald Trump. Explain it. Can you explain it? There was no need, because the president should not be over that. That's the DOJ. And the DOJ, who really kept it hidden, is William Barr, who was there previously from Donald Trump. So go ask the Republican William Barr why he protected Donald Trump. So if you're going to speak with knowledge, or shut your damn mouth, your dick suckers. We will resume.
Yes. We'll talk about like multiple times, like too many to count or 3 or 4, a lot. I went on a lot of trips. Now, I don't recall a lot of them, not because I'm trying to be evasive or anything. I just don't remember them all. And after a while, you know.
See, it's a Friday evening. I got time. So somebody named Real said, more plastic in that face than the damn ocean. You rabbit mouth, kick rabbit ass bitch. This face right here has never had Botox, fillers, nothing. I'm a black woman, you stupid, incomplete. Go drink some more cat piss. That's how y'all get high in the hillbilly land. Never had any surgeries. I'm black, bitch. I don't need it. I'm 51 years old and I look better than everybody in your family that's younger than 50. So leave my chat. If you got something that's stupid to say, leave my chat. And if you want me to read something else you got to say, send me a super chat, you whack bitch. I shall resume.
Incredible job that you have, all of you, that when you're so high pressure, you're spending too much time with extraordinary people like you do with President Trump. It can all be a blur. It just does. And those few things just stand out because at the end, it's all just extraordinary. Cars and
I can't help you wrinkle up like a prune.
Like, whoa. Okay, well,
I'm black and beautiful.
As well. Then you have on Fox.
Been this way all my life. Never had any surgery.
Cover up today, right? The whole cover up.
Let's deport your mama, whoever said that.
Noise there.
Deport your mama, your daddy, your whole family, because you don't even belong here. Go back to Europe.
Which was a setup to cover up for the sex trafficking, where they gave her immunity and then moved her to Camp Bryan. And then
Ricky Bobby, your mama a trans.
Jonathan Turley, this clownish lawyer. Here's what he has to say. Here, play this clip.
Well, this is a terrible buzzkill for most of the media in this town. I think that anything short of a picture of Trump with the entire cast of the Rockettes would have been disappointing, given all of the media and speculation saying that he was a perfect gentleman, or I didn't see any.
Hit that like button, please. Thank you.
It's not what many in this town had hoped for. There's been this narrative that Trump is engaged in everything from the Ukraine to cracking down on crime in D.C. as a distraction of what Maxwell was going to reveal.
And just two other data points I'll share with you right now. The redactions likely of Maria Farmer and Annie Farmer. This is what Maria Farmer had to say about her seeing Donald Trump.
Listen
This is what
carefully,
Maria
you
Farmer
all.
said what she saw. Here, play this clip.
The time that is most memorable to me is the time when he hit on me. Because I was in the office. It was one of the first
She's
times I
talking about
started
Donald
working
Trump.
for,
He took advantage of
Donald
this lady.
Trump.
S.A.'d her.
Yes.
It was when I started working for Epstein, and it was 9 o'clock at night. And Jeffrey Epstein's office was totally empty. And I told the New York Times this, but of course they don't tell the whole thing, right? Even though Mike Baker is amazing, but they would not allow him.
That's true, King Kelvin Jackson. That is
Basically,
true.
I go into this office. It's 9 o'clock at night, and I sit down. And a few minutes later, and I'm wearing running clothes. Okay, so it was really weird. It's 9 o'clock at night, and I'm wearing running clothes because I didn't have money, so I had to jog up there.
Right.
And so I've just struggled, for so long. So I'm like up there in the office, seated, and I've got my, my running clothes on, so my legs are showing. And in walks this man that, when I reported into the FBI, said that game show host Donald Trump, because I thought he was a game
She
show
reported
host.
Donald Trump, but the
So
feds
cheesy,
never did anything.
But anyway, so I said
Donald Trump is an op.
I said hello to him. He walks in, and I just kind of acknowledged him like a head nod.
For the Russians.
And he immediately starts. He's seated standing across the room from me, and I'm seated, and he's like, "Oh, Maria." No, he didn't. Sorry, I was just looking at something. He's standing across the room, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, "Oh, gross." This guy's so gross. Anyway, he's just glaring at my legs, like yum. I told my sister, I felt like I was his dinner or his lunch.
Yeah.
The way he was looking at me. So Epstein comes in. And by the way, I did not look good. I was like, not a pretty. I'm not.
This is
sexually
Trump
beautiful or anything
release
like
of
that. I think
Jesline
it's just
interview
you know what I
instantly
mean?
backfires.
So I'm just like a normal person who went on a run, and I'm seated there.
Subscribe
So
to
he
Midas
assumed I was
Touch
there for
Network,
him.
please.
And this is how I know. Epstein walks up to him and he goes, "No, she's not here for you." And they were smirking, and Epstein whispered something. He goes, "Go in there and what?" And so
We're
Trump at
listening
9
to the
o'clock at night
audio.
goes in the other room. If there's someone in there for him.
Right.
I don't know who. But Epstein said, no, she's not here for you.
And here's what Annie Farmer had to say about writing a letter to the Deputy Attorney General Blanche. Let's play it.
Yeah. Well, and when you ask those questions, does anyone answer? What kind of response do you get?
So far, there hasn't been a lot of official response, to our queries. Even in this, I reached out to the prosecutors who, who got the guilty verdict for Maxwell, saying, what's going on? And, they knew so little because they have not been involved in this process. So I wrote a letter to Deputy Attorney General Blanche saying, these are my concerns about what's happening. And there has not been a response. So, I know, speaking with other survivors in this case, that even though so many politicians are talking about this, I don't think anyone has actually been contacted.
So
by
you reached
anyone.
out to the Deputy Attorney General, and you haven't heard back.
Yes.
Wow. Jennifer Freeman.
And then
They're not
finally,
concerned
here
about the victims.
is
Donald Trump
what
is concerned
Virginia
about
Giuffre had said
hiding his
about,
name in the
being
Epstein
sex
files.
trafficked from Mar-a-Lago.
That's what
where
abusers
she
do,
was
cover
found
up.
by Ghislaine. Here, play this clip.
I was recruited at a very young age from Mar-a-Lago.
And who owns
trapped in a world that I
Mar-a-Lago?
didn't
Donald Trump.
understand, and I've been fighting that very world to this day, and I won't stop fighting. I will never be silenced until these people are brought to justice. So
All right, we'll keep you posted every step of the way, but I want to give you that context. So hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million, and thanks for watching.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.
Subscribe to Midas Touch Network. That's something like a place I can get the best research from. On my channel, we show a lot of research. And Midas Touch Network is what you want and what you need. Because when you come over here to my channel, I give you what you want. I give you what you need, baby. You know it. Call me if you need someone to talk to, someone to love you. Satisfaction guarantee is me.
Massive new report has just exposed that Donald Trump purchased $100 million worth of bonds directly tied to companies impacted by his policies. This could be one of the biggest scandals of Donald Trump's entire presidency, and it's impeachable. Check this out.
This January, the president's bought more than $100 million worth of corporate and municipal bonds. That is according to filings.
More crimes. Donald Trump continues to commit crimes in the Oval Office.
Trading by a president is unprecedented, but these bonds include banks, and they include companies, and they include local governments that are literally directly impacted by the decisions that Donald Trump is making in the White House.
Of course, this is obvious insider trading and blatant corruption. As the president, you can't do things like this. You're not allowed to buy hundreds of millions of dollars worth of bonds directly impacted by your policies. That's not just unethical, this is an impeachable offense. Everyday Americans are struggling with job loss, economic instability, and rising prices. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is out here lining his pockets with billions of dollars, manipulating the very system that he controls. The worst part is, his whole campaign was talking about how he was going to lower prices for everyday Americans, but instead, he raises them and then he profits off of raising them. He can't get away with it this time, though. This demands a full investigation, accountability, and impeachment proceedings. A massive new report has just exposed that Donald Trump purchased $100 million worth of bonds directly tied to companies impacted
inside
by
trade.
This could be one of
Donald Trump has been a con man and a scam his entire life, even when he was young. His niece Mary talked about how he wouldn't even do his own homework. He would have somebody else to do it. He's been a scammer all his life. Just like MAGA in my chat. Scam boogers.
Here we are. It is day 214, and the cost of groceries is up. The cost of utilities is up. The cost of housing is up.
She's
and
right.
The cost of health care is through the roof.
Preach, Miss
And
Warren.
thanks to the
Preach.
Republican Donald Trump and the big ugly bill, it's going up even more. So part of what we're going to do is talk about that reality and talk about getting back in the fight, holding Donald Trump and these Republicans accountable. So we're going to be there in Nebraska. Nebraska has 2 Republican senators and 3 Republican congresspeople. All of them voted to cut health care for 15 million people. All of them voted to raise the cost of health care coverage for everybody who's got private insurance. All of them voted for taking money out of the health care system so that many rural hospitals will close. All of them.
And they already
voted
have
for
started
that.
closing,
This
y'all.
is our chance to be right there in Nebraska, to have a town hall with people in Nebraska, and to say to the people of Nebraska, you have power. You have power at the ballot box. You have power to hold these people accountable.
And we must hold them accountable. November the 4th, 2026. We got to fight back, America. Your vote counts. Stop letting these MAGA Republicans make you feel that they are superior and that they can intimidate you out of your vote. Not on my watch. They can come over here and try to threaten and put whatever they want to in my chat because I know who I am. I'm somebody that come and look at and admire daily. But they got to say mean things because they don't have a beauty queen at home. So they come on Queen Lillie channel to look at her beauty and wish they had it at home. And then you MAGA white women come up in here knowing you wear weave pieces. I don't wear wigs or weave pieces. Knowing you get Botox and fillers, you got rotten teeth and you got booty dudes, no butt, stomach fat with 6 rolls in your back and all, while you want to come on here and try to bash a beautiful black woman that's more intelligent than you. Sit your ass down, MAGA. Take notes.
biggest, I guess, threat or enemies to America are right now? Probably the Republican Party. You think it's bad? It's really bad. Only one group has tried to overthrow one of our elections, and that is Donald Trump by way of his supporters. I think when you're in it, it's hard to know how deep you are, but we have a person who is continually doing unconstitutional things. We have a Republican Party completely unwilling to be a check on him and in some ways endorses his worst behavior. And that is a system that cannot maintain a democracy. Our biggest enemy is ourselves right now. I wish that we
The MAGA
were able
Republican
to
Party.
argue about the discrepancies of a tax bill rather than whether or not elections should be free and fair. But I do think that the Republican Party as it stands now is not one that believes in what the Constitution stands for. What do you think the biggest, I guess, threat?
The biggest threat in America, the biggest terroristic group in America is the MAGA Republicans.
I have some big news right now. Kilmar Abrego Garcia has been released from custody. He's on his way to Maryland as we
This is
speak.
good news,
He'll be reunited
everybody.
with his family. This is so significant. After months of legal battles, after he was wrongfully deported to the CCOT facility in El Salvador, he has been released from custody. According to ABC News, a federal judge has allowed him to be released from custody on bond in Tennessee. He is still facing trafficking charges in Tennessee, but he's on his way to Maryland right now as we speak, and immigration authorities in Maryland will not be allowed to detain Abrego Garcia due to a ruling from a federal judge who last month ordered the government to return him to Maryland and block the administration from deporting him upon his release in Tennessee. He's coming home, but he is far from safe, obviously. We'll see what happens next, but this is one chapter closed in a very long book. So spread the word. Follow along for all the news you need to know about. I'll have much more to come.
Subscribe to Aaron Partners on YouTube. We're going to hear something from Don Lemon about this situation, about Garcia. Uh-oh, hold on. He's being released for good. Thank you, Jesus. He's not a criminal, but Donald Trump is. Donald Trump removed a hard-working man from his family. His kids are disabled, all of them. Donald Trump, somebody that's privileged, but wears a diaper and stank, with skid marks in his underwear, skid marks in his bed linen. He removed a great father from his disabled children. And MAGA salute that monster, Donald Trump, for that. You too are monsters, and you are reprobated mind. You're going to hell. You will never see heaven. So Donald Trump, this is proof. This picture of Donald Trump is proof you don't have to be poor to be white trash. Donald Trump is what? White trash. So CNN finally admitted Trump's terrorists are destroying the economy. His terrorists been destroying this country, but MAGA don't get it. They're non-educated people.
More breaking news coming into the situation right now. Walmart warning this morning it's raising some prices because of tariffs. This comes with the company just releasing a new report about its outlook for the rest of the year. I want to go live right now to CNN business and politics correspondent Vanessa Yurkevich in New York. Vanessa, you were on that call. What more can you tell us?
Well, America's largest retailer, largest employer, and really a bellwether for the U.S. economy, posted strong sales growth in the second quarter, but definitely faced some headwinds from tariffs. And we saw that profits in the second quarter did not meet Wall Street's expectations. And that's actually why you see Walmart's stock down right now, about 4.5%.
That's a lot.
Tariffs was the big point of conversation on this 1 hour call with investors. A lot of questions about what price pressures were going to be trickling down to consumers. You had the CEO, Doug McMillon, of the company saying that so far tariff impacts have been gradual, so consumers haven't reacted so much to price hikes. But
that's a lot.
They're now putting out post-tariff inventory, and they're going to see price level increases on a week-to-week basis. So that's obviously concerning for the company. On that full screen you just had up there, another point of on the call was, despite these price hikes, they have seen resiliency from the U.S. consumer. Ultimately, Walmart still has some of the best prices, and that's why you're seeing increases in the grocery department. You're seeing increases in consumer spending on e-commerce. They did bring in a lot of inventory ahead of tariff hikes, and that's why they've been able to mitigate a little bit better. Walmart also raising their full year economic outlook, talking about being able to mitigate some of these price pressures a lot better than other retailers. Walmart Wolf obviously is in a much better position because of size and scope to absorb some of these price pressures because of tariffs. A big comparison to just yesterday with Target talking about the loss of sales in the second quarter and seeing consumers pulling back. Walmart saying that they are expecting to see growth the rest of this year despite having...
The tariffs was never meant to help the Americans. It was built and created to only fatten the pockets of the billionaires that are Trump's friends and goonies.
The Justice Department releases transcripts of Ghislaine Maxwell interview.
What was released by the Department of Justice was not in compliance with the congressional subpoena that came from House Oversight. Some materials were turned over by the DOJ in compliance with that congressional subpoena. But what we have been reading in terms of the redacted transcripts as well as the audio, that is just Todd Blanche, through the kindness of his heart, deciding that he wanted to release this on behalf of the DOJ. But what's particularly egregious about it, again, Don, is if you are supposed to be the Deputy Attorney General of the United States, and you are purportedly having the one and only time that Ghislaine Maxwell has sat down with a Department of Justice person, wouldn't you want to actually grill her? There was no questions. It was like, hey, Don,
he's there for the benefit of Donald Trump. He's not going to grill her hard.
Just allowing her to basically whitewash
Donnie doesn't
history
want that.
and say, quote, I have a condition with slow cognition issues, so I don't really know if I mean, Don, come on. We wouldn't have believed it in the first instance.
Breaking news. Justice Department releases transcripts of Ghislaine Maxwell.
That phone call, well, that meeting and the audio that we listened to earlier through Midas Touch Network, Blanche was not asking her any tough questions. It was very softball, but bigger than Donald Trump balls. Bigger than his little mushroom. Remember Stormy Daniels said Donnie's thing looked like a mushroom, little thing. But it was a waste, you ask me, because Blanche doesn't ask anything. And he wasn't going to do that because who does he work for? Donald J. Trump, the biggest criminal in America. That's who he works for. That's who he worked for. Everybody knows it, America. You're just dumb enough to believe that it's not. Trump did not inherit a broken system from President Barack Obama. He dismantled the system he inherited, and now the American system is broken.
It's past time we talk about the real possibility of Donald Trump using the National Guard and ICE to intimidate voters at the polls. Don't think this isn't a possibility. Last week when I spoke with California Governor Gavin Newsom, he warned about the real threat of Donald Trump using National Guard and ICE agents at the polls.
I'm a pause this a moment. Because, I got time tonight, Little Dick Miguel calling me a gangster grandma. I have no grandchildren. None. Not one. I have a beautiful daughter that came from my beautiful rose downstairs. Or should I say a lily flower downstairs. But I have no grandchildren. So you can't call me grandma. I'm 51 and look better than your wife, your mama, your sister, your aunt. Whoever. Suck a dick. I shall resume. One moment.
It's past time we talk about the real possibility of Donald Trump using the National Guard and ICE to intimidate voters at the polls. Don't think this isn't a possibility. Last week when I spoke with California Governor Gavin Newsom, he warned about the real threat of Donald Trump using National Guard and ICE agents at the polls, at ballot boxes, because Donald Trump is already threatening to undermine the legitimacy of our elections, of the midterm elections. He's trying to completely ban mail-in voting. Well, then everyone's going to have to vote in person. What's going to stop Donald Trump from
But
sending
that's going to hurt him
the
too. He's
polls
so dumb.
to supposedly look for undocumented migrants when in reality they're trying to intimidate voters? There's going to be American citizens there who might speak Spanish, might not have necessary documentation on them in that given moment, where ICE agents may try to harass them, may try to scare them from even going to the polls in the first place. Donald Trump is going to try and pull this so that he can skew the election. He can try and prevent people from leaving their homes, make people feel unsafe about going to the polls. This is a real possibility. It's past time we talk
It's
about
a possibility, but let me tell you something about black people. We are a resilient race. You can't stop us from voting. We always go out there and vote anyway. And well, the mighty small dick American white people don't realize everybody got pow-pows. Not just you. Everybody got them. But what you don't have a big dick. You have a little dick. You got the little dick syndrome. So you come in here and F with a beautiful black woman to try to make yourself feel powerful when you're this small in every form. Right now, while you on my live, where's your wife? Where's your wife? Getting her back blown out by a Mexican, should I say a black man with a big eggplant. And she liked to put that big old black thing in her mouth too. Then she come home and kiss you.
So an assistant chief counsel for ICE was secretly running a white supremacist Twitter account. This is James Rodden, whose job is to argue for the U.S. government as to why someone should be deported. And while he's been doing this job, he's been running the account Glomar Responder, which is now private. But don't worry, the internet always gets receipts where he tweeted things like, "I'm not a commie, I'm a fascist. Migrants are all criminals. That migrants should be thrown into tree shredders. And that all black people are foreign to his people." And apparently he was posting
I'm okay
all
being
this
foreign to them because I'm beautiful. I got melanin. I don't age like y'all.
A fascist white supremacist government that sees all black and brown people as criminals. And here is one.
And he's the biggest criminal.
Exactly who he is. And I know people will be like, well, he's just one bad apple. No, this is the entire system.
MAGA system is bad.
One person who made himself seen. Who knows how many families he's torn apart, how many people he's had deported, people who had done nothing wrong, who were just seeking a better life in the U.S. His hatred for migrants and his job allowed him to hurt innocent people. Yes, James Rodden, however you say, should be fired, but the entire system should be demolished because he is not an outlier. He is the system. So an assistant chief counsel for...
This man hates black and brown people. Look at him. He's not attractive. So what do we expect from MAGA? The entire MAGA cult of hood boogers, trailer park trash, fat, sloppy, ugly, just trailer park white trash, and jealous of beautiful black and brown people. You're mad because you age like old spoiled milk. I can't help God made me with melanin. I can't help I'm 51, don't have wrinkles, don't have crow's feet. I don't get Botox and fillers. I don't have to buy special creams. My special power is I'm black. Yes, real hair, real everything. I ain't even got fake boobs. I ain't got a fake butt, nothing. Just God bless, baby. And that's why you white men on here. And stop yelling my name when you with your wife, imagining it's me. You could never have me. I cannot get to a man with a little bitty ping. I can't do it. You can't please me. I saved my black beauty for somebody that deserve it. White women, I can't help your husband like looking at me, girl. I can't help it. Take it up with God. Take it up with God. That's what you're going to have to do.
For Trump means your groceries will be
cheaper? $7 for 3 ears of corn. That
He
just
lied to America.
twice as much as I've ever seen corn for anywhere.
My budget has become double for food shopping.
Parmesan
Thanks to
cheese.
Trump.
It was $12.99 and now it's $16.99.
Especially
You
the
better
beef.
thank Trump for this.
The beef. Yeah, everything is going up, but the beef is going up tremendous.
And the tariffs are paid by the consumer, okay? The companies pay it, but then they pass on the costs. I don't think it's going to get any better soon.
Oh, yes, it's gotten ridiculous right there. It's kind of depressing to go in the Walmart. You used to go with $100 right there and come out with bags of groceries. Now you go with a couple of bags in your hand. But prices will come down. You just watch. They'll come down, and they'll come down fast. A vote for Trump means your groceries will...
Only people that believe Donald Trump was these hillbillies on my channel that are attacking me. They're attacking me because they don't have the beauty that I have. I can't help God made me black. I'm 51 and beautiful. Been beautiful all my life. Best looking all through school, homecoming queen, cheerleader, everything that's feminine, I have been and am. I'm not like you. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I drink my water daily, all day long. That's why my skin looks so good. Be mad at God, MAGA. Jesus Christ is a black man.
State is a majority-minority state. And what this legislature historically has done is what they plan to do again, is to dilute the voices of people of color in order to make sure that they can get to where they're trying to go. We saw this Department of Justice decided to put out a letter, and what did they do? We only have 4 seats that are represented by black folk, where the vast majority of the people that get to decide who they have represent them are black. They decided to attack 3 of the 4 seats that we have in the state. They decided to go after a Latina. They are specifically deciding to splinter the communities of common interest, as well as just blatantly say, we are going to dilute minority voices. The state is a majority-minority state.
That's Donald Trump gold. Donald Trump. Every black woman you ever slept with, you owe her reparations. You hear me, monster? You hear me, fat boy? Every black woman, because Donald like looking at the black woman too. Don't let him fool you because he talk all this racist shit. He's a racist, but he been with black women. The white man can't resist a black woman. The white man cheats on his white wife with black women. Get over yourselves. Uh-oh. I can't play that. So, Trump is throwing everything he can at the media to distract us from the Epstein files. Lock his ass up. That's all I'm going to say on that. So, Gavin Newsom. Google searches surged by 1,800%. Now leading in 2028 polls. And Donnie ain't going to like that. So what it says, going toe-to-toe with Donald Trump is paying off for California Governor Newsom. The political rivalry has taken him from presidential hopeful to 2028 frontrunner. In June, Google searches for Newsom went up by 1,300%. This month, they increased by additional 1,800%. Now polls have Gavin Newsom leading to become the Democratic nominee for president in 2028. And that's what we want. That's what the American people want and need. He's giving you what you want and what you need, satisfaction guarantee. He said, call me. Uh-oh, it's on mute. One moment. Let me drink some water.
Discussions with you hardheads. 50 obsessions. 50 incisions into the myth of some great America. All right, racists. 50 episodes in, and we're still having to have the same discussions with you hardheads. 50 obsessions. 50 incisions into the myth of some great America. This country was built on confidence and black brilliance, later to be soured by some upside-down hallucination, where everything is the opposite of reality, where the citizens wear obsession like a badge of honor, while also pretending that they've had a hand in creation, pretending they own this land. But obsession is not greatness. Obsession is insecurity in costume. Every invention you celebrate, stolen. Thomas L. Jennings. In 1821, he got the first patent for dry cleaning. His legacy, erased. Granville T. Woods, the true architect of railroad safety, sabotaged. Mary Kenner, Ellen Eglin, and Benjamin Montgomery, brilliant inventors stripped of credit and profit. But you can't plagiarize your way into genius. Racist America's greatest invention? It's not the light bulb. It's also not the airplane. It's plagiarism with gaslighting and intentional misinformation. Thomas Jennings invents dry cleaning. Racist America says, we did it first. Granville T. Woods makes trains talk. Racist America says, thanks, but Edison will take it from here. This is the opposite of greatness. Greatness, you don't have it. America will never be great. Not as long as you people are swimming in your delusions of supremacy. What you have is a fake ID while waiting in line at the door of history. And the bouncer is the truth. Indigenous Black Americans, the true American Indians, are the original people that you can never counterfeit. This is their story. Racists are just the extras obsessing over the main characters. All right, racists. 50 episodes.
All right,
in, We're
racists.
still having to have this.
Trump apparently believes that there's too much focus on the bad aspects of slavery, as if there were good aspects of slavery. What exactly would that be? Is it kidnap, rape, lynching?
Because
family
y'all white
separation, the
ancestors,
mass murders that occurred during the
RAPED,
Middle
men
Passage,
and black
or
women
all
and
of the
men,
above?
because
What
they're
exactly
nasty.
would be the good aspects of slavery? Let's be clear. The enslavement of Africans in America was a crime against humanity. Something is really wrong with this guy. He's a racial arsonist. The Museum of African American History needs to hold the line and stay the course. We have your back. Donald Trump apparently believes...
Okay, MAGA. Some history for you, because you know how you white racist people in my chat, and I'm not talking about all white people. Y'all love to come on here and bash me because I'm a black woman and you can never have a woman as pretty as me. Never. I don't wear hair extensions while you sitting there on my chat with hair extensions in your head. Let me tell you something about your pappy, your ancestors. They are RAPED, black women and black men. Yes, you're nasty. You tried to take advantage of a whole race in your white men, mediocre white men, RAPED, black men with pow-pows to their head and had other white mediocre men to hold them down. You're nasty.
Mayor Michelle Wu just obliterated Donald Trump.
Stop attacking our cities to hide your administration's failures. Unlike the Trump administration, Boston follows the law. And Boston will not back down from who we are and what we stand for. You are wrong on the law and you are wrong on safety.
Donald Trump doesn't even know the law. He doesn't care.
You are wrong on cities. The cities that live in your minds are totally foreign to the residents living in our cities. And we are picking up the pieces of your failures to deliver on your promises.
Who agrees with Michelle Wu?
I do.
Mayor Michelle Wu just obliterated Donald Trump.
Stop attacking.
And it ain't easy. I mean, it's not hard to obliterate Trump. You just state the facts. She stated facts. And Donald Trump can't handle the facts. He only wants people to lie about how great he is. He would never be great. America isn't great because of the mediocre white male. California Supreme Court tosses out Republican suit against restricting. Awesome. They were mad because Gavin Newsom is going to do the same thing that they're doing. So, breaking. Less than 48 hours after it was filed, the Supreme Court tossed out the petition filed by Republicans in California to block the November 4th Constitutional Amendment ballot initiative. The court ruled that the petitioners failed to demonstrate why such a block was necessary. As a result, November 4th election would still include the ballot initiative. Y'all losing power, Republicans. That's why you want to steal. You're just like Satan. You steal, Killing, and destroy. That is the white race. So these are the words of Donald Trump. He says, I've known Epstein for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do. And many of them are on the younger side. Trump told New York Magazine in 2002. That's why Epstein was coming over there getting those teenage girls from Mar-a-Lago. He never stole anything Donnie knew because he's apparently a part, in my opinion. Donald Trump is creepy. He said that about Epstein, but I'm saying it about you, Donnie. You're creepy. You're a creep.
Response to Trump possibly, having the military take over your city and
Fair
other
use,
black
great for
cities.
educational purpose, and
great
great
research. We
research.
have to understand when you think about what the president is saying, this is just a distraction. He does not want people to hear him talking about the economy that's been on a roller coaster ride. He doesn't want to hear folks talk about the fact that they said that the prices of everything was going to go down and all of these things. For example, eggs were higher than they were this time last year. Obviously doesn't want to talk about things like the Epstein files, but also, and most importantly, y'all, family, that it's just not true, right? When you think about, he started with D.C. D.C. has the lowest amount of violent crime that it had in 30 years.
That's right.
That's since I was 11 years old. And for me in Baltimore, we have the fewest amount of homicides through August the 21st of any year on record. We have set records the last 2 years for the largest percentage reduction drops in homicide and are on pace to beat that.
King Sam, you're right.
And that's the real disharming but also disgusting part of it, because
hit the like button, please. Thank you.
These issues, he would help these mayors, and let's make no mistake about it. Be reminded, y'all, that every single mayor that he called out was a black mayor in a city, right? A black-led cities, but also that whether it's me, whether it's Chicago's mayor Brandon Johnson, whether it's DC and Mary Bowser, whether it's Oakland and Beverly, all of these cities are seeing significant reductions and historical ones, right? And I think we have to make sure that folks know that. Just because someone says something over and over and over again because they have the biggest bully pulpit in the world doesn't mean that
Queen
it's true.
Suzanne
but the
Davis.
most important thing I want y'all to hear from me is that you never heard me. You didn't hear any of my brother or sister mayors say that we had solved this problem. But what we did say is that we have to acknowledge that we have historical lows and how we got there. And we don't need the military to help us continue to drive down violence.
What is your response to Trump?
The military is not needed there. Washington, D.C. crime rate is down by 30%. Donnie is doing things to distract. When they're distracting us, they're actually doing things that we know nothing about. Things that we know nothing about. The Republican Party has always been a party of no good. So anytime he's putting stuff out there, it's to distract us from things they're doing that we know nothing about. It is to distract from the Epstein files. Yes, it is. But they're doing something behind our backs that we know nothing about. It doesn't take away that he is a racist. That's true. Oh, can't play music. Sorry. Epstein has become the herpes of the Trump administration. White House insiders are now admitting the Epstein story is not going to die away. Trump makes things worse every time he opens his mouth, and these people working inside the White House are just throwing up their hands like, what the HELL? This is here to stay like herpes. Sometimes it'll go away, but then it's going to have a flare-up and have to deal with this again. Epstein is the herpes that Trump tried to avoid during the Vietnam Now it's got him. And no one feels sorry for Trump. He brought this on himself. Calling Epstein a creep. It made people dig for more because Donnie is the true creep. This is a AI video I'm about to show y'all. It's funny, so enjoy it.
I never had the privilege of going to his island, and I did turn it down, but a lot of people in Palm Beach were invited to his island. In one of my very good moments, I turned it down. I didn't want to go to his island.
Liar, liar, pants on fire. Let me show you again, because Donnie is the biggest liar in America. Liar, liar, his pants on fire. Hold on.
I never had the privilege of going to his island.
This is an AI video.
And I did turn it down, but a lot of people in Palm Beach were invited.
Hit the like button, please.
In one of my very good moments, I turned it down. I didn't want to go to his island.
He's on the flight logs. Epstein has photos of Donnie all through his home, in his home. Donnie, stop lying. We're not one of your wives. You don't have to lie to us. Would you lie to all of them? Just stop it. Please stop. One moment, please. Cheers to a good Friday evening. Drink your waters, girlie. It makes your skin beautiful. Just a moment, please. So we're going to discuss something got to do with Alabama and what they did to black towns. And y'all love to tell black people, pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. But how can we when you were so jealous of us? You destroyed our towns.
For every untold Alabama truth. Alabama didn't just steal.
I live in Atlanta. The same thing happened with Lake Lanier. Lake Lanier was a black town. The white people was mad that the black people was prospering. And you just had to flood it out. What did I say Satan does? Steal, Killing, and destroy. So Trump's approval rating plummets as his policies wreck the economy. As voters start to really feel the effects of Donald Trump's policies in their daily lives, their approval of him continues to tank. Donald Trump now enjoys an approval rating in the 30s, something that he hasn't seen during his second term and only saw a few times in his first term. Voters have lost confidence in Donald Trump on every single issue. Even Republicans have soured on the man that they insisted was going to save America. Tough Titty said to Kitty, but the milk's still good. Donald Trump is a menace to society. He is bringing harm and so much hurt to American homes and families.
You know what's happening with Cracker Barrel? Have you guys seen this crap? Like, people are literally, it's like seriously losing their minds over Cracker Barrel because Cracker Barrel changed the logo. Cracker Barrel outrageous conservatives with new logo. This is your Bud Light moment. Restaurant chain accused of going woke and scrapping a beloved American aesthetic by simplifying branding to remove folksy Southern character from its signage. Now, here's the thing.
White people, y'all have no culture. Y'all get mad over the stupidest stuff.
Never eaten at a Cracker Barrel. You know, one of the angriest of angry white men is Don Jr.
Hit that like button.
Is freaking out. WTF is wrong with Cracker Barrel? They're trying to,
This is ridiculous.
appeal to a broader demographic, which is what businesses are supposed
The
to do.
CEO, she knows what she's
Everything
doing.
is wrong with Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel new logo isn't an accident. It's CEO Julia Pesmacino.
Queen Julia knows what she's doing.
Messino's project. She scrapped the beloved American aesthetic and replaced it with a sterile, soulless branding. People are mad about Cracker Barrel. Don't you guys have anything else to be mad about? Like, how about the Epstein files? How about Donald Trump's name being in the Epstein files? How about him trying to bamboozle you and get you not to pay attention to it because his name's in there and he's possibly done some really nefarious, illegal shit? How about that? How about your taxes going up and the rich folks' taxes going down? How about prices going up when he promised you that they would go down? Like, how about all of that? I mean, and you're mad about a logo? Do you guys know what's happening with Cracker Barrel? Have you guys seen?
Cracker Barrel, they have done some racist things, but I will be honest. They got good food. I haven't eaten there in a couple years, but I will not lie. Their country food is delicious. And if I decide I want to eat something I shouldn't be eating, I will go to Cracker Barrel. I'm not going to bash them. This CEO knows what she's doing. She is qualified and highly educated. And she's a woman, so it's a problem. Don Jr., shut your D-suckers, okay? Just shut your D-suckers. This lady knows what she's doing. They would not have put her in that position if she wasn't qualified. That queen knows what she's doing. Marketing is important. Sometimes change is good. And a change is coming to America real soon. As soon as we get that man out of office, change is coming.
Court is trying to hide its plan to prevent black people from voting and rig elections for Republicans. This is bad, like very, very bad. Last Friday, the Supreme Court dropped a hint towards their plan to destroy fair elections. You probably didn't hear about it, and that's part of the plan, according to Pema Levy and Mother Jones. The court's announcement that it'll pick up Louisiana v. Calais signals they're ready and eager to dismantle the Voting Rights Act of 1965. The monumental legislation was a major turning point for the civil rights movement, guaranteeing equal protection for minority voters and that their districts would fairly and accurately represent their populations.
Hit the like button, please. Get me to 100.
White people literally owned black people, so finally giving them access to fair elections was the least we could do. The case in Louisiana was brought forth by a bunch of racist white people who say that the Voting Rights Act is racist against white people, saying that the equal treatment of minority voters is actually discrimination against white voters, partly because of racism and also because people of color and black people are more likely to vote Democrat. Republicans want to make it so that they have the legal ability to gerrymander the shit out of the country to make it harder for their votes to count as much as white people's votes do. What's happening in Texas is just the beginning. All states will be able to gerrymander elections to serve the political party they favor, and a state that is only 40% white will be majority white controlled. None of what's happening is a coincidence. This is a well thought out, well coordinated, and well researched attack on many, many levels. Project 2025 and the Heritage Foundation, along with other leading conservative figures, have been working on this plan since pre-Reagan, and their plan to capture all levels of government, including the courts.
It's definitely pre-Reagan, because Reagan had a hate for black people too. Definitely pre-Reagan. How did crack get into black neighborhoods? That was Reagan's doing. Under Reagan. So don't tell me nothing about you're not racist. The vast majority of the Republican presidents were and are racist. Bush Sr. I like Junior. Y'all got to watch the movie W. I keep telling y'all, if you haven't watched it, watch the movie W. Although he did get hit with a shoe in the face. He dodged it or whatever. But I'm sure he got some racism in him. You know, it's embedded in the bloodstream. It's in there from the ancestors. But if y'all have not watched the movie W, you gotta watch it. You can learn a lot from a dummy. I just put it that way. You can learn a lot from a dummy. Yeah. So, let's see, because I want to show certain things at the end. Let's listen to this queen, okay?
So Donnie went on Fox and Friends yesterday and said he wants to end the war in Ukraine because he wants to get to heaven. Donnie, you poor thing, you. After cheating on all your wives, getting found liable for sexual abuse, bragging about grabbing women without consent, running a fake Trump University scam, stealing charity money from kids with cancer, cozying up to dictators while tearing down democracy, calling fallen soldiers losers, and treating the Bible like it's a photo prop at a used car lot. Now you suddenly want to cash in some good boy points by brokering peace? Donnie, heaven doesn't do gold card memberships. If the gatekeepers are keeping receipts, I'd say you're not at the pearly gates. You're headed straight for the down escalator with your little red tie flapping in the flames.
And it won't be a gold escalator at that.
So Donnie went on.
Just a moment, please.
Has come out against Ed Martin as U.S. Attorney. Do you have any response to that?
Well, it's disappointing because, I know Eddie's very talented. Crime is down in Washington, D.C. Street crime, violent crime by
So why did you send the National Guard and the FBI and the DEA?
People they've noticed a big difference. So,
and this was just, I'm going to tell you the date in a moment.
If anybody voted against him, I feel very badly about it, only in the sense that in this short period of time that he's been there, crime is down 25% in Washington, D.C.
Senator Tillis has come out against Ed Martin as U.S. Attorney. Do you have any response to that?
Okay, I'm going to tell y'all when he's made this statement. Donald Trump made this statement. Let me put it on mute. Donald Trump made this statement. I think it was, hold on, let me go to it. Hold on, let's see. It was in of June, I believe. But now he wants y'all to believe there's problems in Washington, D.C., that he needs the National Guard there. Now they're going to have them to walk around with weapons. Donnie is on his thug thizzle. But he scares no one. He cowered out and didn't even go in the military. Remember the bone spurs? What a wimp. One moment.
So he wants to take over Chocolate City. Boy ain't even got a sweet tooth. Just mad. Yeah, we built the
Hit the like button,
the Black
please.
on the National Mall. And Dr. King still stands tall. Washington, D.C. was the first big city with a majority black population. And when we took power, we wanted to govern ourselves. They wanted us paying taxes with no voting rights. Taxes but segregated. Taxes but under the complete control of Congress. When that civil rights movement picked up, we pushed for the 23rd Amendment. In 1961, Washingtonians gained the right to vote for president. But it wasn't until 1968, literally Dr. King had to be assassinated. They had to be afraid that we would burn down the city. For them
Hit the like button, please. Thank you.
These were just demands to govern ourselves. In 1973, Congress passed the Home Rule Act. Washingtonians could finally elect a mayor and city council. White people were never able to accomplish that, but they sure could flee to the suburbs. And as soon as we could, we elected a black mayor, the first mayor, period, of Washington, D.C. White folks been mad ever since. But even with home rule, Congress still controls D.C.'s budget. They can still overturn their laws. They have a member of Congress, but Eleanor Holmes Norton still cannot vote. They don't even have a senator because there has always been a fear of black people with power. Shoot, they fear us even having representation. Because if the world sees what we already know about ourselves, no one will ever believe in white supremacy. That's why they're using Washington, D.C. as an example. Crime is at historic lows, but Trump wants a witch hunt. They want us to know that white men are in charge. They're upset that black women,
mediocre white men,
are in charge and doing phenomenal. They are haunted by the inferiority of their mediocre male white performance. Because y'all want to talk about merit, right? And yet as a people, we are still here. From the freedmen's town of Buried Farms, to the excellence of Howard University, to the White House we built with our bare hands. We are the America they wish they could be and wish they could control. But in a city where it is obvious that we can govern ourselves, our only choice under this administration is to be ungovernable. So he wants to take over Chocolate City. The boy ain't even got a sweet tooth. Just mad.
Donnie hates black people. He hates President Barack Obama because he has the Nobel Prize. He's begging for it. They took you off the list, Donnie. There's no nomination for you to be on the list anymore, Donnie boy, with your little bitty thing in your pants. You don't qualify. President Barack Obama, a Harvard graduate. You went to business school. He went to Harvard Law School. You blew all your daddy's money. You were so broke your daughter said y'all couldn't even buy a sandwich. And you hooked up with the Russians to get to where you are. And the people over Project 2025 has helped you too. Elon Musk helped you too. Remember, you said the election was rigged in your favor. You haven't earned SHIT, not even your degree. What you have earned is a right to be set down real soon. What happened?
Things other than Donald Trump.
Nick Cannon.
I'm going to start this over because I really want y'all to hear this.
Things I trust more than Donald Trump.
Nick Cannon pull-out game.
Gas station sushi.
A Diddy party, y'all. Baby oil edition.
Hit the like button.
Food in an Atlanta restaurant when I walk in and I see nothing but grass and hookah. Potato salad with raisins and a 2-day leftover. Not once refrigerated.
Burger King chicken nuggets.
A shark with a pet me sign.
Stevie Wonder in the driver's seat.
A family vacation to a theme park on Epstein Island.
Things I trust more than Donald Trump.
Nick Cannon pull-out game.
Gas station.
You know it's bad. Nick Cannon got, what, 12 kids? He ain't got no pull-out game. And I do not eat potato salad with raisins. That's what my culture does. And we don't steal from other cultures. We create everything. And y'all steal from us. One moment, please.
We've lost decency. We've lost civility. We've lost respect for the rule of law. Lost it. We have normalized verbal abuse on the internet.
Donald Trump loved to verbal abuse people.
Much as the woke generation tried to, change that, it's back. And out the window goes character, integrity.
Donald doesn't have any character
things
whatsoever.
To say about politicians. They never have. Go back to Mark Twain. But ideally, we're supposed to elect the best of us, not the worst of us.
Donald Trump is the worst.
He's everything that's wrong with not just America, but with being a human being. We've lost decency. We've lost civility.
I agree with everything Jeff Daniels is saying. When President Barack Obama was in that class, highly educated. Him and his wife, highly educated. Then we get President Joe Biden, his wife, Dr. Jill Biden, highly educated. Then goes who? Donald Trump. His grades were terrible. The deans talked about him. His dad paid his way for everything because he knew how dumb his son was and is. His mother even said he was a dummy. And his mother was hoping he didn't get into politics, and he did. The worst of the worst to ever get in politics. The worst.
Trump has not stopped 7 wars in 7 months. It's a lie. And before you hear that lie, there's something you should ponder. Joseph Goebbels is one of the most evil human beings who has ever breathed on Earth. The Nazi propaganda minister had an insight about people. What he said was, the bigger the lie, the more likely it is to be believed. And we see the effects of that. We see members of Congress saying the January 6th insurrectionists did nothing wrong. They did a great deal wrong. They betrayed their country. They raised their hand against the American flag. What comedy it is to see Janine Pirro demand fealty to law enforcement as a cheerleader for the overthrowing of the government and the assault by those treacherous Americans on law enforcement.
Don't allow Donald Trump's manipulation of taking our law enforcement and sicking them on the people of Washington fool you. Because if you recall this image right here, that image, that's the January 6ers. They got found of felonies. And who pardoned those felonies? The felon, the biggest felon in America, Donald Trump did. He's the biggest felon in America. Donald Trump is a man that upholds RAPE, ex-trafficking, pedos, people that destroyed the state capitol, people that steal from other people. He upholds all that. And he questioned about going to heaven, saying that he must end the war so he can get into heaven. Baby, that ain't what the Lord said. That's not how you get into heaven, Donnie. You so dumb. You're disgusting because you're so dumb. And it makes America look so bad. You're not going to heaven, Donnie. You will never see heaven. And heaven doesn't want to see you. Heaven doesn't want to see Melania Trump. Heaven doesn't want to see any of your children either. Because they are the prime example of coming from sick-minded parents. A parent like Donald Trump. They think like you. Your entire Trump family will bust hell wide open. Donald Trump, you are known for SA-ing women. You're known for grabbing them by the PUSSY. You are known for going in the teen pageant girls' dressing room without their permission, just busting up in there. You are known for being on the Epstein files and being redacted from the files. And anytime you ask somebody to redact something, you're guilty. In my opinion, Donald Trump is very guilty. Why would you want anything redacted, Donnie? I understand if it's the victims, but the victims said they wanted release. That's what the victims said. I played on my channel here and let you listen to the victims saying they want the files released. Several of them said it with their attorneys. But Donnie was so afraid the American people going to look shame upon him. You are shameful. You are the scum of the earth, Donald Trump, and you're not liked by many. Other countries hate you. They hate your existence. The Italian president sat beside you just the other day here in America. Might have been Monday or Tuesday, whatever day it was. While you were talking, she rolled her eyes up. And I felt her pain because she had to smell you. No one with good sense, with good genes, with a high IQ would like Donald Trump. See, Donald Trump's the likes of Donald Trump. He has low IQ. And what does he attract? Low IQ followers. Bad genes people. MAGA is low IQ and bad genes. That's what Donald Trump attracts. He would never attract people that President Barack Obama does. He would never attract people that President Joe Biden and Dr. Joe Biden would. Nor would he attract anybody of the likes of the president's wife, Michelle Obama. They're highly educated. The people that are attracted and follow behind Donald Trump are low IQ. Bad breath, bad body odor, bad body built. They wear bleach blonde tracks in their hair. You can see the tracks. And their makeup is horrible. I sit here and I don't even wear foundation or face powder. None of it. But MAGA puts it on every day looking like a clown, like their leader. And they come in my chat and harass me. And their men want to get with me. It would never happen. I know you like looking at my white pearly teeth and my beautiful lips that God gave me. You want to kiss them, don't you? It ain't happening. Not on my watch, you nasty, filthy animals. I wouldn't dare let somebody 400 pounds touch me. No. Walking around smelling like Donald Trump? No. You don't even bathe often. And then you have your dog licking all over your face. And then you go in the grocery store and I got to smell you funky in the grocery store. And I don't even want to buy any food at that point. Stay out of Publix. If you're going to let your dog lick all over you, walk around stinking. I said you stink. Get a life, MAGA. Peace out, everybody. These are my teeth. Don't hate on me because I'm beautiful. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. I love y'all. God bless. Make sure you go to church Sunday. Go to a black church, MAGA, so you can feel the spirit of the Lord. You sit in there, you can feel the music sending stuff down your spine you never felt before, and that's the Holy Ghost at a black church. White churches are boring. I've been there. Very boring. They put you to sleep. So your soul can get right. This Sunday, you go to a black church where you can feel the Lord. Yes, you can feel Jesus Christ. That's where you need to go Sunday this weekend, yeah. And if you go to church on Saturday, go to a black church. Because some people do go to church on Saturday. You need Jesus real bad. I can smell your racism through my phone. Y'all come on here and wish I was ugly like you. I don't have rotten teeth. You come on here and wish I had bad skin like you. I got melanin. You come in here and wish I had bad hair like you. I don't have to wear tracks like you and Donald Trump. Donald Trump wear hair pieces somewhere in his hair. I don't have to. I'm black and beautiful. Congratulate me. Don't hate. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Sorry. Enjoy your weekend. I love all of you, even the haters.